Another word about our training and everything, well, not about our training, but life at Wendover, Utah. Wendover had a population of 104 people. That was before the Army got there. And I think that was taken when a train was sitting in the station, by the way. Bob Hope was there one time for one of his famous sessions and everything of that type, and he called it leftover, not Wendover. And that was the best name for it. The security was such on this project and everything else that every telephone line into and out of Wendover was tapped. You couldn't have a private telephone conversation at Wendover, Utah if you wanted to. It was embarrassing at times because you'd see somebody down the flight line that due to a telephone tap, you had found out that his wife had told him she was going to have another baby and this sort of thing. And you'd say him, you walk up to him and you'd feel like saying, congratulations. Better not open your mouth that way, because if you did, you were going to get in deep trouble. You never heard the word atomic, you never heard the word nuclear or anything that at Wendover. But if you were very smart, you could figure out what we were going to do. Why? Because number one, they said we were going to do something that was going to wipe out an entire city. And number two, there are a lot of people running around who you knew were nuclear scientists. Now, if you couldn't put two and two together, nuclear scientist, disappearing city, you're pretty stupid. I wasn't stupid. But if you were also more stupid, however, if you did guess it and you talked about it. Because if you did, Tibbets would send you up to the Aleutian Islands, where you could say, go up there and say, you can go up there and talk all you want to. There's nobody to listen to you. That sort of thing. Well, that about describes our things at Wendover, and we trained out there for about 3 months, I think, something like that, 3-4 months. And then we went over to Tinian, one of the Marianas Islands, about 60 miles north of Guam. The people at Tinian are lovely now. They just invited me to come back for a celebration on August the 6th. I'm not going back. I didn't lose anything over there. But anyhow, they're extremely nice people over there. Now they're a protectorate now of the United States. On the island of Tinian, this island was the biggest airfield in the world back in those days. We had on Northfield and Tinian about 400 B-29s. Westfield had about 300 B-29s. And they had another field on Guam and another field on Saipan, and they each had about 300 B-29s on them. We had over 1,000 B-29s over there at that time. If Japan had not surrendered when it did, the mouse would not have been able to move in Japan without being bombed. We had that kind of air power over there. And of course, let me point out real quick, like the Japanese military by that time, the air power military, was shot. Their military, unlike ours, we trained people to replace other people and everything of that type. Had a steady stream of replacements coming in and going on. Once their first line pilots were shot down and killed, they had no replacements for them, except kamikaze pilots. And I had no desire to be a kamikaze pilot. I'll tell you right now. I keep forgetting where I was. Where was I, Marianne? What? Oh, we just got the Tinian, that's right. On the island of Tinian, too, we weren't flying missions. Yeah, well, we were flying missions, but not the same type the rest of them were. We had bombs that were the same size, weight, and shape as the atomic bomb, except they were loaded with high explosives. And we were to give those bombs to one of our crews and send them up to Japan and say, go up and bomb this factory in this city, under conditions that we expected to find when we dropped the atomic bombs. We said specifically, bomb this factory. Don't go up and bomb this city. Anybody can hit a city. Well, no, I know some people. I think I know some people who can't hit a city, but that's all right. But anyhow, that was our training while we were there. And we were doing this during the day. We were going up there and dropping our bombs during the day, The other guys are going up there and dropping the fire bombs at night and doing all night bombing up there. So to their purpose, all intents and purposes, we weren't doing anything. So we had a lot of nasty poems written about us, you know, like, I forget the poems exactly, but I know the punchline on it was, we should have been home a month or more because the 509th is winning the war, and this sort of thing. There's little things like that.